Neymar here, now being linked to a possible team outside of PSG.
Okay.
Chelsea being one of them. Ale, can you believe that somebody like Neymar is struggling to find a team?
I can. Yes, I can. Because he's really expensive and hasn't been nearly as productive in terms of winning important trophies. And when we say important trophies, we really are referring to Champions League for PSG. But more so than anything is the images that Neymar has left us with while playing with PSG. And in moments that matter, in moments that were critically important for PSG, he was either injured or not productive. He was of injury or missing on the field. Either way, he has become a caricature of himself as a player. And let me tell you something. If you're a team out there and you're a club out there, you're not going to pay the sort of money that Neymar would demand for a caricature. You want that for elite talent, which is what PSG thought they were getting and which is what I think Neymar is. Will he be that in the future? We don't know that. Only Neymar knows that. And he has to make a change. He has to look at himself in the mirror and have evaluation, objective evaluation of himself. If he does that, there's an opportunity for him to regain his level. But man, time is running out. And there isn't enough money out there for Neymar to become that player again.
We saw all those stats, impressive, but it looks like it's a little bit behind him now. Nikki, is he being linked to a team in Serie A?
There's very sort of loose rumours. I wouldn't read too much into any of them at this point, but there's the idea that he could go to Juventus. I think when you consider the recent history of Juventus, the investment they made to bring Cristiano Ronaldo in, and the somewhat underwhelming results, at least on the pitch. If you want to have a commercial conversation, it's a bit more complicated. But even that conversation with what happened with the pandemic, with football going behind closed doors, with huge lost revenues, I think that was also probably not everything they hoped it would be. I think it's hard for me to imagine Juventus going for that sort of big splash on an older player in the near future. I think, again, when it comes to younger players, it's a different conversation. When it comes to assets that you think, well, we can make a long-term investment on this, we might be able to sell for higher value, that's different. But Neymar at 30 years old doesn't really offer that. And I think Juventus will be shy of making that sort of, again, very ostentatious move like they made for Ronaldo over again.
And speaking of where he is at this moment, Neymar, PSG, Christophe Galtier now, the new coach. We know that he was being linked with the club the past few weeks. Now it looks to be official with PSG after Mauricio Pochettino's era. Stuart, with Neymar at the club, if he does stay for an extra season, does it matter who the coach is now thinking of Neymar's profile presently?
Well, I think Galtier would have gone in there and said to the board, you know, I'm going to pick the side. I'm going to get the players to play I want them to play. That's why I've had success at some of the clubs I've been at, not because I've allowed single players to do what they want to do. Now, if I pick him and Neymar does what he wants to do and doesn't follow instructions, I'm going to drop him and leave him out the squad and not play him. You've got to back me on that. And that's exactly what the board have to do, or the president has to do for the manager. Because the manager, I can't see them getting on because he's a tough manager that likes to play a certain style of football and he wants disciplined players. Neymar is ill-disciplined in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, and he's won that reputation, at least in the past few seasons, being linked to Newcastle.
Yeah.
As well.
Whoa, Shaq.
I don't even have to ask if he would like that.
Listen, I don't see that happening. I understand the link, given the new ownership at Newcastle United, and all of this speculation that came with that new ownership. But as I keep pointing out, I was there back in May. There is nothing and no one at the club that thinks the new owners are going to be spending the kind of money it would take to bring Neymar in. Everybody sees this as being spending, but sensibly and growing the club slowly in that way. Neymar does not tick any of the boxes that people within the club feel it will be the direction.
And what were you doing there in May, Shaq?
Well, freedom of the city.
Oh,
why else?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
That's what I do.
Thank you very much. So now did you buy the cattle that you can actually raise in the city or not?
My cattle can graze
Yes.
in the city public squares.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent, Shaq.
Green
Just
pastures.
need some cattle now, and I'll be all right.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Shaq.
That's what I'm working
Proud of
on.
you.
Now, we do want to remind everyone, Mark Ogden has an interesting article. You can find it on ESPN.com. Neymar joined Paris Saint-Germain in a world record transfer, but now he's superstar no club seems to want.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.